So I'm glad that I was able to come and have this event. I'd like to tell you a little story about these three guys. They were not very intelligent, but amongst them they had decided that they at least wanted to look intelligent. Because it's important for people who are not intelligent to look intelligent. People who are not important, it's very important for them to look important. So they dressed up, combed their hair, put some pens in their pocket, paper. And however they could, they tried to emulate that they were very intelligent, very important people. Well, one day they were walking through the town and they got very hungry and they realized they didn't have any money. Just because they looked important didn't mean that they were rich. And they went and asked the shopkeeper, hoping that, seeing that they were important, he would give them some food. And he didn't. And their hunger was bothering them, so they decided to steal some food. Accidentally, again, just pretending to be intelligent, but not really being so intelligent, they got caught. And they got taken in front of the judge. The judge looked at them and realized that there was something funny going on between them. And the judge says, okay, I'll tell you what. I'm going to ask you a very simple question. And if you can answer my question, I'll let you go. But if you can't, I'm going to imprison you and send you to jail. So they figured, well, they looked intelligent, maybe they had a chance. So the judge said to the first one, says, what is 2 plus 2? And the first one scratched his head and said, 5,000. Judge said, no. You will be imprisoned. Turned to the second one, said, how much is 2 plus 2? He scratched his head and said, Tuesday. The judge said, no, you too will be imprisoned. Now it was the last one, and he was feeling very nervous. And the judge says, so you answer, what is 2 plus 2? And he said, 4. The judge says, that's very good. But tell me, how did you come to that conclusion that it's 4? He said, oh, it was very easy. I just divided Tuesday by 5,000. Now, there's a lot of this going on in this world. There are people who are wanting to be intelligent, who are wanting to be righteous, who are wanting to be religious, who are wanting to be close to God, but are not. So they pretend. And they have their logic. Tuesday and 5,000. And invariably, the third logic, which is you take 5,000 and divide it by Tuesday and you get the right answer. So why did I tell you this story? And what has it got to do with you? Yesterday I was driving, I had to go to the airport, I was coming back. And I was thinking, and I said, it's amazing because everywhere, and this is especially true in India, they want you to dress very modestly, not show part of your body, da-da-da-da-da. Well, that's personal preference. But God has a different opinion. He does. God, very different opinion. Everyone He sends to earth, He sends them completely naked. I mean, you would have thought that by now even God would have learned, hey, it's not so good to send people naked on this earth. Put something on them, at least. God has already invented grape leaves. So just as when you are a baby, from your navel a little grape leaf could grow and cover it up till you are in a position to actually put on some pants and so on and so forth. So here's this whole world, modest. I agree with it. I mean, there's some things you don't want to see. But modest. And God is, no, naked. Hard to reconcile these two incredible differences because God keeps repeating Himself. It's not like let me just experiment. After all, who created cotton? God. Who created the silkworm? God. He could have arranged it easily that whilst the baby is in the womb, the silkworm comes along and puts a little dhoti or a sari or something, a little lungi, anything will do. But not one single person. So the world keeps screaming one thing, God keeps saying another thing. How do you reconcile? Isn't this what we try to do? Reconcile through our explanations who God is. Reconcile through our explanations of why we are here. Our objectives, our points, our ideas. Today, you look at so many people. I mean, pardon me, but I just have come from India. I was there for a long time. So there's all these Indians, you go on the TV and they're singing their bhajans, Some are singing Krishna, Krishna. Some are singing Radha, Radha. Some are singing Ram, Ram, Ram Krishna, Ram Krishna. So I got curious one day. And I said to someone, research for me, where does Krishna say to Arjun in Gita, Arjun, chant the name of Ram and all your problems will be taken care of. Do you know the answer? It's shocking. Nowhere. Is that the big secret Krishna was keeping from Arjun? I mean, Arjun was his friend. He liked him. He was going to drive. He did drive his chariot. I mean, talk about personal, close. They were good buddies. Really. He could have just said, Arjun, Radha. That's the ticket. Just chant, Radha, Radha, Radha. And once in a while throw my name into Krishna, Radha, Radha, Krishna. And Ram could have done the same thing. Ram could have said, you know what? After this age is finished, Krishna is coming, just chant his name. Everything will be fine. No mention. No mention. The only place so far that I've come across in Gita is where Krishna is saying, I am the wind amongst all winds. I am the tree amongst all trees. I am the Ram amongst all the archers. That's it. Not telling him, let's write Ram, Ram, Ram everywhere. Let's wear a kurta, let's wear this, let's wear that. Nothing. In our quest to be fulfilled, we do not recognize the quest itself. We recognize solutions that people have offered, but we neglect to understand the quest. What are you hungry for? If you are a mother and you lose your baby, would you be upset? Would you be upset? I would think you would be upset. I hope you don't have to think about that. Tuesday divided by 5,000. So if you lose your baby and you would be upset, would you then be satisfied if you found your baby? Good. At least 3 of you, of 2,000 plus people in this hall, 3 of you would be satisfied. We're doing good. Humanity has chance, I don't know. But here's my question. Would you be satisfied with any baby? Why not? A baby is not. Would you be satisfied if the baby that you got was a little cuter than your baby? So, the mother who loses her child will not be satisfied by just any baby. That has to be her baby. And I'm not questioning that. I think that's good. Every one of us, in a way, is a mother looking from what we have been separated from. It is not the question that any God will do. It is the God that resides in you is the only one that will do. And that's why, regardless of how many religions there are in this world, we are drifting away from the basics of humanity. If you smell the aroma of jasmine, and they make perfumes, room fresheners, jasmine. They don't smell like the real jasmine. So if you smell the smell of real jasmine, then I can assure you one thing: the real jasmine is not too far away. The smell of night queen, it's a kind of a jasmine. Once in a while, it'll waft in. And when it does, it is amazing. It stops you. It's so beautiful. And you can be rest assured that that night jasmine is not too far away. Peace is a natural consequence of knowing. When ignorance is taken away, what is left is knowledge. When ignorance is taken away, what is left is light. The lamp needs only to shine. The lamp only needs to be lit. Consequently, the darkness will go. And there will be light. And why? Why is it so important for you to have light? Because when there is light, you can see. And when you can see, then there is no more doubt. Then there is clarity. The strategy is to get you from point A to point B. And this is one thing I was saying in Madras. The strategy is to go from point A to point B. The religion deploys the strategy, and the master deploys a strategy. The strategy of the religion is to tell you, go 4 steps straight ahead, turn left, go 3 steps, turn right, go 15 steps forward, turn right, go 3 steps, turn left. This is the strategy. And the strategy of the master is, why don't we just turn on the light? Just turn on the light, then you can see where you want to go. And I don't have to sit there and tell you left, right, 15, 13, 12, 8, 9, 7, Tuesday, 5,000, 4. I knew that story was going to come in handy. Because that's how it all loops through. That's what it is. And then when you ask, how do you know these instructions are accurate? The answer that is given, it is written. I found it in a book, it was written. And because it is written, your grandfather believed in this. Your father believed in this. Your great-great-grandmother, so you should believe in it too. That's good logic, isn't it? Is it? Is it? My great-great-great-great-great-grandfather probably rode on a horse. I've got a problem. I don't like to ride horses. My daughter, she likes horses. She likes to ride horses, and I keep telling her, it's fine, you ride horses. But I tell her that I don't think horses were meant to be ridden. I mean, that's not the purpose of their, existence. Yes, we will be the people carrier. I mean, horses are horses, what they are. I don't like it. But that's my preference. She likes it. She has horses. She rides them. She's very good at it. Fine. But just because my great-great-great-grandfather rode horses, do I have to ride horses? My great-great-great-great-great-grandfather may have never spoken English. My great-great-great-great-great-grandfather never left India. Because here's the fundamental difference. Heaven now or after death? No, I'm telling you, this is it. You have to figure this out. You want it now? Or you want it after death? Because if you want it after death, you're in the wrong place. You want it now, you're in the right place. If you want heaven after death, consult religion. They're the ones remotely mentioning this. What do you think some of the oldest scriptures, Upanishads, what do you think they say? Do you have any idea? The oldest ones, literally the root of many of the religions, including Hinduism, and other religions that sprouted from that. What do you think Upanishads actually say? They talk about the heaven being here, not after death. And this is through knowledge and not knowledge of something else. Not the knowledge of mantras, not the knowledge of where the stars are, not the knowledge of where Plato is and sun is and moon is, but the knowledge of the self. Clear distinction. Science and knowledge. Vigyan, Gyan. That if it isn't knowledge of the self, it's not Gyan, it's not knowledge. It's that other knowledge, Vigyan, it's science. It's study, experimentation, documentation, trial, error, all of that. Discovery, rediscovery, 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 rediscovery. But knowledge of one kind, and it only pertains to the knowledge of the self. That heaven is to be experienced now. That this is why you are here. Somebody wrote to me, I've had it with all this confusion and this and that, and I want, moksha. I want that clarity, I want that. I received knowledge a long time ago. I had it when I received knowledge. And then I got caught up in this world. And this world has taken me and diverted my attention from it. And I've tried to get back to it. And I have not been able to get back to it. So whatever, help me. And once in a while, people ask me that. Not too long ago, when I was in India, somebody asked me, same thing. When I first came to knowledge, I had this, it was so beautiful, it was this, and now, I don't know. So what do you change? Say, you saw somebody and you fell in love with them. First time you saw this person, you fell in love. You married them, and consequently, now you find it's not quite the same when you look at them. It's not the same firework, boom. It's just a little, a little bit like a dud fireworks, Make a lot of hiss and noise, but no boom. So why? Why? What was the difference? And I will tell you what the quintessential difference is. When you saw that person, it's not like you were looking for love. You saw that person triggered in you, they were the catalyst, triggered in you this feeling, and you didn't know what the feeling was. And because you didn't know what the feeling was, you just felt it. And maybe you didn't even know to call it love, because all you realized was you were thinking about that person. Morning, night, lunchtime, dinner time, breakfast time, brush the teeth time. And now, you're lucky if you remember their birthday. You're lucky if you remember that day you got married. So many people, it's like, will you take so-and-so to be your lawful wedded wife? And they have the look in their face. I do. And you realize the divorce rate in this world? I don't. I do gets followed by I don't. Or how could I? The definition of an eternal optimist is somebody who goes to the marriage bureau to see if the license has expired. Just optimist. So, what was it the first time? First time was falling in love. Not a formality. Falling in love is not a formality. Falling in love happens, and there is nothing you can do about it. When you came to knowledge, you fell in love. It was about love. Falling in love with the idea of happiness. Falling in love with the idea of peace. Falling in love with the possibility to be content. Falling in love with the possibility to be clear. Falling in love with the possibility to be free. Falling in love with the possibility to know. Love. And if you don't have the love, and you have all the rituals of this world cannot make you fall in love. You can have your wife tattooed with I love you, 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 I love you. You can have your husband tattooed. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. You can have your towels embroidered. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. You can have your carpet sewn. I love you, I love you, I love you. You can buy the wallpaper. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. You can have the windows in your house etched. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. You can go and you know the breakfast cereal which has got all the alphabet. You can pick the I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. But all that I love you will not make you fall in love with that person. No way. Not possible. Because falling in love happens with the heart. The simplicity, the innocence of falling in love. Innocence. You cannot go out and say, well, today I'm going to fall in love. Love sees no time. Love is not lust. Don't ever mistake love for lust. Love is love, lust is lust. And many of you might see a picture, might see a postcard, might have a thought. That might be lust. But love is different. And love is innocent. And it is from an innocent place that it comes. And if you do not have the innocence, you will not have the love. So if you want to be in love, work on the innocence. Not embroidering the towels. Because it was that innocence that brought you to that love. Knowledge. You fell in love. Because your heart rejoiced and you had never felt what it meant for the heart to dance that way. It was innocent. It was innocent. If you want to be in love with knowledge, get the heart dancing. Some people go, I'll practice 2 hours. So, sit down. The other day, I was talking to my daughter that likes horses, and she goes, Dad, I've got a great idea. I said, what? I said, we can come up with an iPhone app that'll remind you when to switch the techniques. And I love her. I love my kids. It's like, whoa, what a great idea. Of course, I didn't tell her I had come up with this idea a long time ago, but I thought it was pretty silly. And the closest I came to it was the practice at the end of Key 6. And sometimes when we have practice sessions, we show that. And that's me saying, okay, next technique, next technique, next technique. But great idea she had. She's going to listen to this and go, great idea she had. And yeah, we can take that and, make it into an app. So somebody can say, well, I'll practice 2 hours. That's like embroidering your towels. I love you, I love you, I love you. Because it has to come from the heart. It has to come from the heart to sit down, to practice. Because you are in love. And the day you begin to believe in your heart again, the complicated world will magically disappear. The complication of this world that hounds you can only exist because of one reason: ignorance. Believe in this heart. And the message of this heart to you, to be fulfilled. Isn't that what caused your search to begin with? Some people say, well, it was your words. But who heard it? Me or you? This mouth is blessed, this voice is blessed, that it can allow the expression of the heart to come through. But it is those who hear and let their heart be touched. The divine dance begins. And it is awe-inspiring. For me, it is awe-inspiring. I don't think I could ever get tired of listening to people talk about that moment in their life. Somebody just recently received knowledge and he wanted to meet with me, so I said, sure. He comes down. Very learned person. Very, very learned. A lot more than me, believe me. I was looking. I was searching, I was looking. You have no idea, he says, how many places I looked. Then I got your knowledge. I have connected. Now I can say is good to watch this innocence, to watch this love happen is awe-inspiring. This is, you see, each one of our stories that is so different and yet so alike. Your name is different. Your face is different. Where you were born is different. How you were raised is different. How you view this world is different. But falling in love and its innocence is the same for every one of us. What is the value of knowledge? How does that innocence work? And it is the story of the nightingale. You remember the story of nightingale? The king was so in love with the voice of that nightingale, he one day got the mechanical one and said, I don't need the real one. And then, looking for the real one, when he finally found, she said, because you enjoyed, I too enjoyed singing to you, king. But the day you didn't need me, I had no longer any reason to sing to you. This heart is also a nightingale. This wants the nightingale to be mechanical. Push the button. Life doesn't work like that. Life doesn't work like that. How many of you look at the clock, look at the time, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And when serious problem comes in your life, you lose all track of time. Do you not? Serious problem. Somebody close to you dies, you lose track. You don't. How much more am I going to be sad? Oh, it's been 10 minutes, he's dead. Maybe another 10. No. You lose something precious. Somebody gives you bad news. I know. People come to me. I know. People come to me. Doctor just told them you have cancer. You have 6 months. What do they lose? All track of time. Gone. They know you can't live with this, you gotta live with this. This keeps saying no. Let's make it all happen. Make it all happen. Make some miracle happen. Make some miracle happen. Push some button so that the doctor will say you don't have cancer anymore. And the heart says, what is always said? Be content. Be happy. Accept the possibility of life till you are alive. Somebody came to me, they said, oh, the doctor just said, I have cancer, I'm dying, so I'm just trying to wrap up everything, and I wanted to say hello to you. And that. So I said, sometimes these doctors can be wrong. Why don't you get a second opinion? So I sent her to another doctor, and the other doctor looked at her and said, it's not written on your foot you have cancer and you're going to die in 6 months. And her whole demeanor changed. One doctor said, you're going to die. The other one said, maybe not. And coming to me, I said, you know what I'm going to say? 6 months, 6 years, 60 years, or 600 years, or 6 minutes, or 6 seconds. Be fulfilled. Be fulfilled. That's why you're here. You see? That's why you're here. You procreate? Ramayana? Everything does that. Food? Everything does that. Food, drinking, procreating, all these things, everything does that. Sophisticated plots to do it, everything does that. Okra does it. Okra. Are you better than okra? That's what okra does. That's its strategy. Make that seed, procreate, make success happen. Go for it. Tomato, same thing. Some flowers live in an area where there's no bees. So they have joined partnership with hummingbird. And the hummingbird comes to drink, and the hummingbird gets dabbed on the head with this flower, goes to the next one. Procreate, 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 procreate. An ant. One time, Parvati had this, Shiva Parvati. Parvati had this doubt. Because one day she was taking food to Shivji, and Shivji said, I'm not ready to eat right now. I only eat after I have fed everyone. So Parvati had a doubt. So one day she took a little box, put an ant in it, and closed the box, and then went on to serve Shivji, and Shivji started eating. And she said to Shivji, I got you. You told me that you only eat after you have made food available to everyone. That's not true. Shivji goes, no, I made food available to everyone. That's when I eat. She goes, no, that's not true. So what do you mean that's not true? So, well, see this box? There's an ant in this box, and it doesn't have food. Shivji said, open it. And when she opened it, she had a tilak with the rice here, and one of the rice had fallen into the box, unbeknown to her. And she looked. It's like, yeah. God, that power, takes care of everyone. In kindness. People say, God is testing me. You want to hear my 2 cents about this? If God is testing you, that means that God doesn't know what you're going to do. Right? Because if He knows what you're going to do, why test you? So if God doesn't know what you're going to do, God needs to test you. And if God doesn't know, then He's not all-knowing. And if God is not all-knowing, we are in much bigger trouble than we think. Because then everything is a test. It's more tests than a doctor could order. See, on one hand they say, oh, God is testing you. And I say, no, God cannot test you. Because God knows. No reason to test. Knows what you will do. God knows, tested, you will fail. Safe bet. Don't give tests. Why will we fail? Look around you. We have miserably failed. Concept of heaven, and we don't care about the earth. Because we're not going to be enjoying it here, right? We got to die, so we may as well not take care. This is it. This is it. No tests, but opportunities are given. No tests. Tests are not given, opportunities are given. That's what God gives you. Every day God gives you opportunities. Another opportunity, another opportunity, another opportunity, another opportunity, another opportunity. To everyone on the face of this earth. Not tests, but opportunities. Not wrath, but gifts. And the most beautiful gift, the gift of this breath. Comes life. Do you know what life is? Are Are you not in love with life? Are you not in love with living? Are you not in love? Because if you are not, that's the problem of your ailments. That's the problem of your ailments. You're not in love from your heart. Fall in love with this life, with this day, with this moment, with this breath, with this existence. Fall in love with clarity. Fall in love with the divinity inside of you. Fall in love with all that is so beautiful. Then you don't need embroidered towels. Then you don't need embroidered carpets. You don't need tattoos. You don't need reminders. Do you ever think that when you are in love with somebody, you need a reminder? Oh yeah, I'm in love with so-and-so. That's what's going on in my life. No. The remembrance is automatic. Not in love, no remembrance. Then write it down. I don't know. I don't know how it is for you. But I can definitely tell you that when there is the love, everything that is good follows automatically. The caring, the sharing, the thought. And action is no longer a chore. When you are in love, and that person tells you, do this, could you do this for me? Is it a chore? No. Gladly. When the love is gone, and the wife tells the husband, can you please stay seated on the sofa? That becomes a chore. Why? Why are you taking away my freedom? Listen, I just want to vacuum, so stay on the sofa. Why? Vacuuming is more important than me. Vacuuming is not more important than me. Anything becomes a chore. And when you are in love, take out the garbage. Only once. Can I come to take the garbage out 3 times a day at least? Can you please make more garbage? Because the chore disappears. That is being in love. When I was in Madras, after I'd done the event, I saw this big sign. And it was a big painting somebody had done. Krishna's quote from Gita. You know, you can do the actions, but don't expect the result, the fruit. Niskam karam. And I started thinking to myself, how do you do that? If I do something that is supposed to be fruitless action, then I have already thought that here is an action that I am about to do that will bear no fruit for me. It's fruitless action. So now if I'm doing fruitless action, why am I doing fruitless action? Because Krishna says so. Do fruitless action. That must be a good thing. So I'm doing it because it's good, so I'm already expecting a fruit. How, a human being, how do I not expect a fruit? I mean, even if the fruit is, well, maybe this will get me closer to God. Oh, Krishna says it, so that's why I should do it. That must be a good thing. So, whatever I do, I expect a fruit from anything. When I give 5 rupees to a beggar, you don't think I expect something in return? Even if it is, I can feel better about myself having given 5 rupees. If there are people in India who have the ritual, they take first roti, put a little bit of their sabji, whatever, send it to the cow. Why? Makes them feel good. Because they know they've done something that they were supposed to have done. So how do I do action for which I don't care what the fruit is? I don't care what the result is. Love. Love. When you are in love and the lover says, take out the garbage, will it make my love more? Will it make my love less? I don't care. Will it please, appease? I will do it. Fall in love. Fall in love with that breath. Fall in love with that divinity that is inside of you. And even that can be done. But you have to fall in love. So, now the big question. How do you fall in love? Especially at your age. Yeah. Can't see a thing, can't hear a thing. Yeah. How do you fall in love? Well, your desire and your enjoyment, this is very good. Your enjoyment has nothing to do with age. You all know that you can enjoy the same amount as when you were young. Your hearing may have gone, your eyesight may be shot, your taste buds may not work, your bowels may not be friendly, but your ability to enjoy has not varied even a little bit. And this ability to enjoy will not vary. That's the only thing. Bones creak, joints give out. Sitting and getting up are 2 separate events. That's what happens, doesn't it? They become 2. Before, when you were young, there was basically one thing. And then they become 2 separate events. Either you sit down or you stand up. Because once you have seated, it is a challenge to stand up. And once you're standing up, it's a challenge to sit down. And if it isn't so, it's coming. It's coming. Seeing things. You hold something far away and it gets more in focus, but then you realize your arm is only so long. So then you have to push your head back. And there is a physical limit. After that, the bottle will not go any further. I was trying to read this, this hairspray thing, and it was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And they write in such small font. I mean, so tiny. And I have pretty good eyesight. I mean, I can still see, but I know it's coming. It's like, pretty soon it'll be you put the bottle on the table and move back. What are you doing? I'm trying to read the label from across the room. Stop, don't walk in the middle. So, all this will happen. All this will happen. Pretty soon you realize, do you really need a comb? There's nothing to comb. Field is empty, it's gone. And every day that goes by, the field gets emptier and emptier and emptier. And every day you take a shower and you look at all the hair that are in the sink. And you wonder who gave them permission to leave. I mean, not something that used to happen before. But that, if you're too young and don't understand that, it's coming. I may not be around, but you will one day start laughing uncontrollably when you see the sink. Yeah, I remember him saying that. So, one thing, all this will change. All this will change. I mean, women, they like to spend hours, they put lipstick on, they put this on, they put that. And men are not any different these days. You gotta shave, you gotta do this, you gotta trim, you gotta this. They have trimmers for everything. And as you age, your hair stops growing where it should be and starts growing where it shouldn't be. And then you have to get these trimmers. And I mean, there are people that have more hair coming out of their ear than on their entire head. Just the wrong place. It's just at least they have hair, but it's just in the wrong place. So, all this will change. All that will change. Has to. Because don't forget what the real thing is. This is dirt. That's where it's headed for. The big event is you come out of your mother's womb. And it may not seem that way, but pretty much everything starts to head south that day. Once you have taken that breath and you turn pink, the processes of oxygen begin. Oxygen is a very strange thing. You need it. Without that, you will die. But it is the very thing that will destroy you, too. It's a two-edged sword. And so, it's all headed south. I don't know why people say south. I don't know what's wrong with south. South's pretty good. It's headed somewhere without a direction. And it's going to become dirt, and one day that is its destiny. And in this whole world, nobody is trying to change that course. Except for the Master, who reminds you, all is not lost just because face doesn't look the same. When I was in India, they had a TV documentary on all the makeup, and it's unbelievable amount of arsenic in lipstick, in the kajal, in the powder. I mean, no wonder, people look so old when they're still young in India. But if they've got arsenic in that stuff, that's really bad, because I see a lot of women putting on a lot of lipstick, and this and that, and that's not good. That'll accumulate in your body. But enjoyment of this knowledge, enjoyment of this life does not have to change. Till the very last breath, it never has to change. That's the good news. And that's what the heart wants. So listen, Emperor. Don't mechanize this beautiful singing bird. Leave it be. Let it sing. It may not be when you wish. That's besides the point. Because whenever the bird will sing, you will enjoy. Don't mechanize. It is not about having control. No. The gifts come. Trees will give fruit, but in season. But in season. Mangoes will come, but in season. Lychee will come, but in season. Rain will come, but in season. Not in Kuala Lumpur, it comes every day. But it'll come more in season. And there is a season. And let it. This nightingale cannot be made into a mechanized bird because it is more convenient for you. Don't let that happen. Moksha, liberation, here, now. What do you need moksha from? Do you know? Do you have any idea what you need moksha from? If I go, yeah, you need moksha. Oh, yeah, we all need it. From what? From what? Do you know? You have any idea what you need moksha from? I'll tell you. You have me to tell you what you should get away from. And what is it? Your unconsciousness. That's what you need moksha from. So what is the point of having moksha from everything else but not from unconsciousness? Because you'll end up right back where you started from. You need moksha from ignorance. First. There was a man, I was watching television one day and I saw this. And he wanted to go shark fishing. So he got himself a boat, rented a boat, big gear, big man, big ego, shark fishing. And he's standing in the back of the boat, not even sitting down, standing in the back of the boat. He's got this jacket on with a rod coming out, and he's like, I'm gonna catch this. And they're putting, fish and chum in the water. And this caught an attention of the shark. And the shark came, and the man was, whoa. And he's trying to dangle the bait in front of the shark and get the shark. I want to catch the shark. I want to catch the shark. I want to catch the shark. And the shark took the bait. And once the shark felt the hook, it took off. And it was a big great white. And when the shark took off, it was such a force that this man who was strapped to the fishing pole jumped right over the back of the boat and ended up in water with the shark. Very upset shark. But his rod was connected to the jacket, which was connected to him. And he's being dragged away from the boat. And after a little while, the shark realizes. Lunch time. And turns around and starts coming for him. And he can only do one thing, which is scream at the top, because he's tied to this thing. All his ego was gone. He was the most humiliated, humble person on the face of this earth. In the water, shark coming at him. And the shark is not disguising its fin. It's coming right for him. Beautiful sight. Why do these people bother this thing? They don't want to eat that. Why do they bother with it? Leave the shark alone. He's happy. He's not going to kill you. If you don't stick yourself in its mouth, leave him be. But all these, we're doing science. And my arm is gone. That's what's going to happen. Leave them alone. They will leave you alone. You leave them alone. That's what my thing is. I leave them alone, they leave me alone. We have a sacred pact. This is it. Namaskar. But in this life, one thing. This is ignorance. Tie myself to the rod, rod to the line, line to the bait, bait to the hook, hook to the shark. Me in the water, no more boat, being dragged. Ignorance. Get moksha from ignorance first. Then think about getting moksha from other things. People say, I want moksha, I want liberation from my suffering. How did you end up suffering? Because of ignorance. That's how you got there in the first place. And you don't want to remove it. Then it's going to happen again. And again. And again. And again. And again. It's very simple. Whoever you are, I know some of you are doctors, lawyers, engineers, big egos, little egos, whatever. Now, I tell you, I saw somebody in India gloat. Gloat is when you swim in the perfume of your ego. It's not really a perfume, it's like more like the stench, but it's like swimming in the toilet kind of thing. But it doesn't feel like that. It feels like you're swimming in nectar or something. I saw this man gloat on TV. And I immediately said to myself, please God, give me the strength never to do that, ever. Gloating. Just gloating. Because I know I do it. If it's a good landing I make, or I accomplish something, it's like, wasn't that great? I never want to gloat. So whatever your ego level is, little, big, everybody gloats. Everybody gloats. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean rich, poor, how educated you are. Everybody gloats. And then what happens? You go up, gravity is waiting. Who's going to win? You going up is momentary. Why? Because gravity is always there. Infinite patience, sooner or later. Sooner or later. That's what's going to happen. You go like this. In India, you do this a lot. Try to kill a mosquito. When I was young, mosquito had no chance. There's one. Now I am lucky. Mosquito is more lucky than me because more times the mosquito gets away. So what do you say? Only got 72-hour lifespan. After that, it's going to die anyways. Same thing. All of this is in motion. Don't forget. Don't forget. And do you know what's keeping you from becoming dirt? You have any idea? You think it's your karma? Nah. It's one thing. Feel this breath? Feel this thing that just came in? Didn't feel like much, did it? It's kind of snuck in and snuck out. And snuck in and snuck out. You don't even know how many times, do you? Only thing that's dividing the wedge, separating you from becoming dirt. Next time you sit down to practice knowledge, be very thankful. The only thing feels like nothing. It's the only thing that's making possible the impossible. It's everything else is after one thing: to claim you. Time, yes. Earth, yes. Come here. And this is the only thing that's separating the impossible. Till it's here, you have everything. Because it is the blessing. The real blessing. Somebody asked me again, "Oh, can I have your blessing?" I said, "What do you want my blessing for? What do you want my blessing for?" You know, some people probably look at me, "Oh, there goes the guru," or this. I don't see myself like that. I don't. All I see myself as somebody who carries around a little lamp. When some people come, go, "Can you light up my lamp?" I say, "Yes, here." I'm not going to take my lamp to you, but you bring your lamp, and I'm holding my lamp, it's lit, you can light your lamp from it. Any problems? No. Anything off my shirt? No. Then other people go, "How do I keep my lamp lit?" Don't let it go out. Yeah, I've spoken for more than an hour. This is what I've told you. Because that's what that guy asked. "I think my lamp is going out. What should I do?" So I told you. It took me an hour to tell you. Don't let it go out. Don't let it go out. "Oh, but. There are no buts. Don't let it go out. Don't let it go out." Long time ago, people needed to carry fire with them. So they would make a clay pot with holes in it, put a coal in it, and take it with them. So that wherever they needed to, they could take that hot coal and start another fire. They figured out. Don't take this lamp and try to thrust it against the wind of ignorance, because no, that's not. The only way this lamp will be able to save you is not by trying to heat up the air. That's not the purpose of the lamp, is by lighting the room, not letting it get dark. Use it for that. Use it for that. If you shine bright, you shine clear, as a human being, you can achieve anything. God has already given you that blessing. You can achieve anything you want. Peace is the hard one to obtain. Prosperity, once you have peace, is easy. Because you define what is prosperity for you. That's as simple as it comes. As simple as it comes. If you understand it, practice, enjoy this gift of knowledge. And it's always wonderful to come to Malaysia. I have a dream that someday we will have our own hall in Malaysia. So then, whenever we want, come together, have an event. Not have to go looking away. Is this hall available? Is that hall available? Is this here? Is that here? And it came close this time because almost was ready to go look at some land. So hopefully by next time there's a team that's doing research and they need to up their effort to look for the right land and something that's good. And they will. I'm confident that they will. But that sure would be nice one day, that people who have knowledge can come together, practice, enjoy. And it wouldn't just be a hall, but so that people take vacations. But if they want to take a vacation, come there. They should be able to do that. Practice knowledge, 2 days, 3 days, whatever. It will be a full functioning knowledge center, so people can, re-understand the techniques if they want to. And I think it just be a lot of fun. It could be a lot of fun. And it would have had to be a lot of fun than before I would even consider it. So someday I hope that happens. Thank you very much, and I'll see you later. Thank you.